told the driver of his poor, hard life, he eyed the back of the driver's cart. It was piled high with small, empty animal cages, all foul-smelling and dirt-lined. Just as the boy was about to ask what kind of animals it was that had been inside them, the driver stood up and announced that he had to be on his way. "But before I go," the driver whispered, "because you have been so kindly to an old and weary traveler in offering half of your already meager portions, I would like to give you something now, the worth of which today you may not realize, but one day, when you are a little older perhaps, I think you will truly value and thank me for. Now, close your eyes." So the little boy did what he was told, and he closed his eyes. And from a secret inner pocket of his robes, the driver pulled out a long, sharp, and shiny meat cleaver, raised it high in the air, and brought it sifting down onto the boy's right foot, severing all 5 of his muddy little toes. And as the little boy sat there in gaping, silent shock, staring blankly off into the distance at nothing in particular, the driver gathered up his bloody toes, tossed them away to the gaggle of rats that began to gather in the gutters, got back onto his cart, and quietly rode on over the bridge, leaving the boy, the rats, the river, and the darkening town of Hamelin far behind him. Of Hamelin, see? Of Hamelin. Do you get it? The little boy's a little crippled boy who couldn't keep up with the Pied Piper when he came back to take the children away. That's how he got crippled.
I know that.
It's a twist.
I know it's a twist.
You see, it was the children he was after. It was the children he was after to begin with.
It's the children who was after.
It's the children the Pied Piper was after to begin with. It was my idea that he brought the rats. He brought the rats. Yeah, he knew that the townspeople weren't going to pay. It was the children he was after to begin with.
This reminds me.
What? Oh yeah, this reminds you, and it hasn't really reminded you of anything. What's in the box? Hey, that's my brother in there.
I do believe it is.
What's he doing to him?
Well, something fucking horrible. I don't know, do I?
Hey, you said you wouldn't touch him.
I haven't touched it.
Hey, you said he'd be fine. You gave me your word.
Terry, I'm a high-ranking police officer in a totalitarian fucking dictatorship. What are you doing taking my word for anything?
What have you done to my brother? What have you done to him?
You see, Ariel, Katurian's asking the questions now. First was what's in the box. That's why you were torturing the spasm. Now it's what have you done to my brother?
Fuck what's in the box. What have you done to my brother?
You see, Ariel had a problem childhood, and he tends to take it out on the retards we get in custody. It's really bad if you think about it.
What have you done to him?
You know, you being such an upstart and shouting all over the place, I would usually have smashed your face in by now. But because I've just been doing that to your subnormal brother, my hand really hurts. So for now, I'm just going to let you off with a very stern warning.
I want to see my brother right now.
You smashed his face in, did you, Ariel? Ooh. Hang on, though. That could be classified as police brutality. Oh, no.
You really hurt my hand.
Look at your poor hand.
I know, it really hurts.
Well, how many times have I told you? Use a truncheon, or what do you call it? I mean, your bare hands, Ariel, and on a spastic. I mean, he wouldn't even get the benefit.
Please, he's just a child.
I'm taking a breather now, but the next time I go in there, I think I'm going to put something sharp up inside him and then turn it.
Oh, now that would definitely be classed as police brutality.
Please, I want to see my brother right now.
Where's the third child?
What third child?
So, it's you and your brother, yeah?
He's
You're
all
close, you and your brother?
That's all I've got.
You and your spastic brother?
He's not spastic.
The writer and his spastic brother. Title for a story, Katuri.
Please, he's just a child.
No, he's not. You know who was? Andriy Javakovich was. You know who she was?
Only from the papers.
Only from the papers. What do you know about her only from the papers?
She was the child they found on the heath.
Yes, she was the child they found on the heath. You know how she died?
No.
Why don't you know how she died?
Because the papers didn't say.
Because the papers didn't say. You know who Aaron Goldberg was?
Only from the papers.
Yes, he was the boy they found in the dump behind the Jewish quarter. You know how he died?
No.
No. Papers didn't say. Papers didn't say a lot of things. Papers didn't even mention the third job. Little mute girl went missing 3 days ago. The same age, the same area.
The papers will be saying something tonight.
Oh, the papers will be saying something tonight. The papers will be saying a lot of things tonight.
What, about the mute girl?
Oh, about the mute girl, about confessions, about executions, all that type of stuff.
I don't know what you're trying to say. Are you saying that I shouldn't write stories with child killings in them because in the real world there are child killings?
He wants us to think that he thinks that all we've got against him is a disagreement with his fucking prose style. Like we don't know what his brother just said to me.
What did my brother just say to you?
Like we don't know what's in that box.
I don't know. Whatever my brother just said to you, you made him say to you. He doesn't talk to strangers.
He spoke to me. He speaks to strangers, all right. He said you and he speak to strangers.
I want to see him.
Oh, you want to see him?
I want to see him, that's what I said.
You are demanding to see him?
I would like to see my brother. I want to see that he's all right.
You are demanding to see your brother.
I ain't fucking demanding, yes. I want to see he's all right.
He will never be all right.
I've got a right to see my brother.
You've got no fucking rights.
Sit down, please.
Not no more, you've got no rights.
I've got rights. Everybody's got rights.
You ain't.
Why ain't I?
Open the box.
Huh?
I'll give you your rights in a minute.
Yeah, like I bet you gave my brother his rights, too.
I gave him his rights, all
Yeah, I
right.
bet you did. I bet you fucking did.
Open
No,
the box.
I bet I fucking did.
Yeah, I bet you fucking did.
No, I bet I fucking
Oh, I
did.
know you bet you fucking did.
Open the fucking box.
All right, open the fucking box. What is that?
Retake your seat.
What are they?
What are they? You know what they are. We found them in your house.
No!
Your brother's already admitted his part.
No!
But he's hardly the brains behind the operation. You know how the girl on the heath died? 2 razor blades down her little fucking throat. Both wrapped in apple, funnily enough. You know how the little Jew boy died?
His first toe, his second toe, his third toe, his fourth toe, his fifth toe.
That poor little Jew boy, 5 fucking toes! And they were found in your house. And it's nothing to do with you?
I just write stories!
Oh, they make a nice final fucking twist, don't they?
Swallow them.
Where's the new girl? Where's the new girl?
Whoa! Whoa, Ariel, stop! Don't make him swallow them.
You said make him swallow them.
Only to scare him. They're evidence. Have some sense.
Oh, have some sense? Don't start on me again. And quit it with that problem child and shit, too.
Well, you did have a problem child.
Quit it, I said.
Look at your hand. I mean, that's so obvious. It's been blind.
Oh, fuck off.
Fuck.
I said fuck off!
He's so moody. Retake your seat, please.
I don't understand a thing that's going on here.
Yeah? Yeah? Let me tell you where we stand. As of 5:15 p.m., Monday the 4th, along with the evidence we found in your house, your brother, spastic or not, has, under duress or not, admitted enough about the killing for us to execute him before the evening's out. But as Ariel said, he's not the brains behind the operation, so we want you to confess too. Yeah, we like executing writers. I mean, dimwits, but we can execute them any day, and we do. But you execute a writer, it sends a signal, you know what I mean? I don't know what signal it sends, it's not really my area. But it does send a signal. Wait a minute, I know what signal it sends. It sends a signal, don't go around killing little fucking kids! So, where's the little Your brother didn't seem to want to spill the beans.
Detective Topolsky,
Mr. Kateri.
I've been listening to your bullshit for a long time now. And I have a couple of things to say to you. I don't think my brother has said anything to you. And I think you're trying to frame us for two reasons. One, because for some reason you don't like the kind of stories that I write. And two, because for some reason you don't like retarded people cluttering up your streets. I also believe that I'm not going to say another word to you until you let me see my brother. So torture me all you want, Detective Topolsky, because I'm not going to say another fucking word.
I see. Well, I guess I better go get the electrodes.
Once upon a time there was a little boy, upon whom his mother and father showered nothing but love, kindness, warmth, all that stuff. He had his own little room in the middle of a big house in a pretty forest. He wanted for nothing. All the toys in the world were his. All of the paints, the books, the papers, the pens, all of the seeds of creativity were implanted in him at an early age, and it was writing that became his first love. Short stories, fairy tales, little novels, all bright, colorful things about bears and piglets and angels and so forth. And some of them were good. Some of them were very good. His parents' experiment had worked. The first part of his parents' experiment had worked. It was on the eve of his 7th birthday that the nightmares first started. The room next to his own was kept bolted and padlocked for reasons the boy was never quite sure of, but never really quite questioned, until the low whirring of drills, the scripty scratch of bolts being tightened, the dull fizz of unknown things electrical, and the muffled screams of a small gagged child began to emanate through its thick brick walls on a nightly basis. "What were all those noises last night, Mama?" he would ask after each long, desperate, sleepless night, to which his mother would ever reply,
"Oh, little cat, that's just your wonderful but overactive imagination playing tricks on you."
"Oh, well, do all little boys of my age hear such sounds of abomination nightly?"
No, my darling, just the extraordinarily talented ones.
"Oh, cool." And that was that. And the boy kept on writing, and his parents kept encouraging him with the utmost love. But the sounds of the words and screams kept going on. And his writing got darker and darker and darker. Oh, it got better and better due to all the love and encouragement, as is often the case. But it got darker and darker due to the constant sounds of child torture, as is also often the case. It was on his 14th birthday, a day in which he was waiting for the results of a story competition he'd been shortlisted for, that a note came out from underneath the door of the bolted room. And he read that note, and it said, "They have loved you and tortured me for 7 consecutive years for no reason other than an artistic experiment. An artistic experiment that has worked. You don't write about little green pigs anymore now, do you?" And the note was signed your brother, and the note was written in blood. He axed through the door to find his parents in there, alone, his father making some drill noises, his mother the muffled screams of a small gagged child. They had a little pot of pig's blood in between them, and his father told the boy to take another look at the other side of the blood-scrawled note, and he did. And he discovered that he'd won the $50 first prize of the short story competition. They all laughed. The second part of his parents' experiment was complete. Well, they moved soon after that. And while the nightmare sounds had halted, his writing remained strange and twisted, but good. And he had his parents to thank for all the weirdness they put him through. It was a few years later, on the day that his first book was published, that he decided to revisit his childhood home for the first time since he'd left. He idled around the old room and saw that it still had the toys and the papers littered about. Then he went into the room next to his, and he saw that it still had the dusty drills, the padlocks, the electrical cords lying around. And he smiled at the insanity of the very idea of it all. But he lost that smile when he came across the corpse of a 14-year-old child left to rot in there, not a bone of which wasn't badly broken or burned. In whose hand lay a story scrawled in blood. And he read that story, a story that could have only been written under the most sickening of circumstances, and it was the sweetest, most gentlest thing he'd ever come across. But what was even worse, it was better than anything he himself had ever written, or ever would. So he burnt the story. And he covered his brother's body back up. And he never told anybody. Not his parents, not his publishers, not anybody. The final part of his parents' experiment was over. Couturian's story, The Writer and the Writer's Brother, ended there in fashionably downbeat mode without touching upon the equally downbeat but somewhat more self-incriminating details of the truer story, that after he had read the blood-written note and broken into the room next door. It was, of course, his brother he discovered in there, alive as such, but badly brain damaged beyond repair. So that night, whilst his parents lay sleeping, the 14-year-old birthday boy held a pillow over his father's head for a little while. And, after awakening her just a moment so that she could see her dead blue husband, he held a pillow over his mother's head for a little while too.
Once upon a time, a long, long way away, once upon a time, a long, long way away, there was a little green pig. There was a little green pig, and he was green. Once upon a time, a long, long way away, there was a little green pig. Where was it? Where was it? Yes, it was a long, long way away. And he was a little green pig. Shut up, Victorian! You're making me forget that little green pig story when you're screaming all over the place. What did that little green pig do next? He said to that man, he said to the man, hello, man. Stories like you do those stories, Victorian. I wish they'd stop torturing you. It's boring in here. I'm bored. I wish that they would just stop torturing you.
We'll be back to work on you in a minute. I'm getting my dinner.
Hiya. What are you doing?
I'm holding onto your leg.
Oh. Why?
I don't know. Because I'm in pain. Aren't I allowed to hold onto my brother's leg when I'm in pain?
Yeah, sure you are, Couturian. This seems weird, though.
How are you doing anyway?
I'm great. Just bored. Cor, you were making some racket in there. What were they doing? Were they torturing you?
Yeah.
Did that hurt?
Well, if it didn't hurt, it wouldn't be called torture now, would it, Michael?
Oh, I suppose not.
Did yours hurt?
And my what hurt?
When they tortured you.
They didn't torture me. No, the man said he was going to torture me, but I thought, no way, boy, that would hurt. So I just told him what he wanted and he was fine then.
But I heard you scream.